Hello friends, Tracy with the Rhapsody Art Barn, and I am continuing my project. If you go to my Facebook page, there is a DIY Thriftsgiving marathon, and I started it, and I'm just going to continue it on my video so I can post it and everybody can see the rest of my project because I cannot do anything in a half an hour. So here is what we started. We're using the brand new Debbie's DIY paint colors, 5 new colors. And they are Walk on Water, which I've used over here, Eden, which I will use in the tree. I think I'm going to use them all. Electrified down the center, and Flirtatious, which I used on this side. Actually a little bit in the top, but I lightened it up with white. If you want to see what I've done already, you'll have to go back and look at my Facebook page because I did not video it for YouTube. And then Blood Moon, isn't that gorgeous? Haven't used this color on here, but I think I might use it on some of the Christmas balls. So if you want to see any of these things that I've already done, that is basically the Santa in the background, that is on my Facebook page. So in the meantime, let's get started using some of these colors. Let's see, on the rest of this project. So I have used the IOD stamps to create this so far, and these down here, and the strip up the center is from the new IOD Kitschy Christmas. It's a limited edition. If you can get your hands on one, go for it. But as far as I know, they're sold out at the company, so they are harder to get. But if you already have one, now you know what to use it on. So this is just a thrifted find. I like, oh, I guess I should have probably seen which way it hung. I am queen of that, so I'll have to move these over. But basically it's already got the hardware on it, and you can do whatever you want to the frame. Often I'll use a Debbie's DIY patina to either make it gray, or you can darken it with the DIY dark. You can also paint it, and I thought in this case it would be really fun, because I'm doing a kitschy Christmas, to get some vintage tinsel and go around the edge. This stuff's a little heavy and not quite the right color, so I think I want some bright color. I might end up having to go to my local Michael's, or hopefully somebody has some, maybe even online. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is finish this up. I just put these on. It was too wet during my live. Some parts are still wet, so they didn't go on quite as well. That's okay. I'm not really worried because it is kind of kitschy. And you can hide things with a multitude of, you know, I could drill these out and stick these in here. I've got silver and gold. There's, you know, they come in all different colors. How fun, you can add. So do not feel like you have to do everything perfect, especially on a project like this. So now I'm gonna go ahead. I already got black ink on this bow. All of these are from the Holly Jolly a couple years ago. I know that a lot of people bought them, so I'm hoping that enough people have it already that they can use it, because just because they're not from this year doesn't mean you can't pull them out and use them with the new stuff that you get, because these are really complementary to the kitschy look. And then this Christmas cheer came from one that was out, I want to say at least 2 years ago, and it was a Christmas, I'm going to see if I can find Merry and Bright. The Christmas cheer came out of the Merry and Bright. So, you know, I use all the stamps that I have, and sometimes they go with the new stuff, and sometimes I have to wait a couple years and I pull them back out again. So I do have the Christmas tree, the bow now I need to paint in, and I'm gonna be using all the new colors. So I already have mixed up some of the colors. So I'll have the pink, I have some white in here from the DIY paint line, beadboard, and then I'm going to probably use electrified and Eden, the two new greens, to create this Christmas tree. So let's get started on that. Now I'm covering all of the black that I've stamped on here. We will go ahead and re-stamp it once I'm done, but right now, that is how I'm gonna get this color into the stamp. That's how we get it colorful. And then there's these little Christmas balls that I'm trying to avoid. And I'm gonna also add the other green throughout in places. So I'll kind of show you. I want to cover everything that is black because we don't want a double negative. So here's that bright green, kitschy color. I'll just dip in to show you a little bit of what we're gonna add. But in the meantime, I think I'm gonna stick with the dark for now so I don't contaminate my brush, and then I can go back in. Sometimes I have to look at my stamp and kind of figure out, it got really light in here, where there are Christmas balls, where the tinsel's supposed to go. And feel free to grab your stamp and kind of look at it if you didn't get that figured out. There's 3 on here. And I couldn't quite see it. Basically, I just needed an outline, and then when I re-stamp, it'll fill in those blanks again. It'll give it the detail. Now, essentially the light green will help show the black ink when I re-stamp it. I'm gonna have to let that dry a little bit. So I'm gonna move on to a bright, bright, bright yellow. It's called Liquid Sunshine by the same brand, DIY Paint. And I just need a drop of that for the star at the top. And because it is kitschy Christmas, we're not going to worry about making it bright gold. We're going to use yellow. And I think that will kind of follow the cartoon-like theme that I got going on in here. But it might be a little more translucent, so I could have to give it a couple of coats, or at least a real thick coat, to make it transparent. I mean, to make it opaque. There we go. It's showing up pretty well. I'm just gonna keep going until it's that bright yellow that I like. And then I will re-stamp this as well. It's just a single star. Okay. Gonna move on and do some of the balls. Of course, we're gonna have to do some of the pink, and you can do them all pink. There are not a ton of them, so I don't want to hog all of the pink. But pink is probably the most fun against the background. And then we'll do the new color I haven't done yet is the Blood Moon. It is a gorgeous purple. We do not have a purple in our paint line. We have Cherry Picked, which is magenta, a deep dark reddish purple, but this is our first bright purpley color. And so I would like to get a couple of these in the mix. So I'm thinking 3. Okay, let me add, I think, some of the blue. Even though it's on the blue background, I think it will show up. We'll try it. I can always lighten it too and make it more of a baby blue. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add a little bit of white to the new Walk on Water and create, it doesn't create a baby blue, it actually just kind of makes it more turquoisey. I'll show you what I'm doing. Because I only need a little baby amount, it's kind of making it a lighter turquoise all along the same color scheme, which is fun to do when you're adding elements to your pages. If you just change with black or white the color you're making. I'm just gonna do 3 of these as well, and then I'm gonna switch back over to the, didn't really even show up too much, so I'm gonna make it even lighter. Then I'm gonna switch back over to the pink, because I want more pink. Oh, there, that's cute. I like that lighter. I'm just gonna add a little bit lighter blue. It will dry light and then it will darken up again. So I want it pretty light because that gives me a little bit of a contrast. Anyway, when you use the same color and add black to go darker or white to go lighter, you know that it'll match your color scheme because it's the same tone. Okay. So now I'm gonna go back in. The rest of them will be pink. So I got 3 blue, 3 purple, and the rest are pink, whatever the rest are. Because that pink is so fun. Such a fun pop of color with this style. One more down here. And you could vary the colors of pink if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna use the same one. Okay, so I might have made a circle that wasn't there. I'm not too worried about it because the black will go over it. So real messy, just covering the black lines. I'm gonna go in with some shimmer glaze, which is the same stuff I used on his glasses, and it is Pentart, and I am going to paint this on as well. and you just put it where you want to put it, right? Basically, I'm just covering all the black, and it was pretty much already covered, so it's not looking too silver, but if you hold it up in the light, oops, if you hold it up in the light, I'll be able to show you. It is shimmery. So if it's not shimmery enough, I do have a bright silver from Posh Chalk. And what you do with this is, I'm just taking a scrap piece of paper and I don't need much. As you take some of the powder, it is a pigment powder. It's very shiny. Take some of this powder and lay it out on a working surface. I don't know if you can even see that yet, but you will be able to in a second. The more you use, the more opaque your product. So I'm gonna grab my pigment infuser, which is made for this. You can use a top coat sealer of any kind, but this is made for this product. And I'm going to just put a little bit next to it. You can't even see that yet, but once I start mixing it in, it becomes highly metallic. Highly, highly metallic. And then it becomes like, I don't know if you can tell how metallic that is, but you'll be able to see it on the project. Shiny, shiny, shiny. So it'll just add a little bit more of that sparkle that we're going for. And you know, it's your project. You could add glue and glitter. You can do as bright as you want. But for this application, I want to put something back over it. So I would probably not do the glitter until I had re-stamped anyway. I have some fine glitter from the 50s or 60s in my arsenal that would be really fun. Okay, but this is going to make it more metallic, if you can see that. Okay, so those are two options, both of which are pretty, just different looks. I'm going brighter just because of my look. And I could even do the star gold on top, like the silver. I have a gold, I have all different colors that comes in of gold and red and green and you name it. Okay, so now we're gonna go dry this a little bit and we're gonna go back over it. The top coat should dry quite quickly, and definitely the paint is already dry. So I'm going to start with the star because it is clearly dry. I'm doing the same black IOD ink on the star. Unfortunately, the star lost its backing, so I have to be a little more careful with it. It's not as easy to stamp with. You can put it on a piece of metal, sorry, I was looking at metal, a piece of thin mount. IOD sells their hard plastic sheets called thin mounts. They have grids and they're easy to stamp with, but I have just this one little guy to do, so I'm not going to worry about that one. Pull out the sheet for all that. See how it now makes it look like a star. It is a star. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back in with the Christmas tree as well. I have so many things in front of me. I do like to usually put a sheet down on my project before I stamp. This is just a reuse, recycle sheet from one of my products I sell. I think this one is from a transfer. And then clearly had some blue on it, but it's on the back side, hopefully. Make sure. Yeah, it's on the back side. Just wiped right off. Okay. And then we're gonna try to line it up the same way it was sitting before. But again, we're not going for perfection here. We're going for the look of painted images. See, all my little balls have the little brightness coming through, and then it'll just add that detail back in to the tree. And now the tree looks like a tree again. So all that painting we did in the right places just added that flair. How cute is that? That's what we did with Santa as well. Fun. And Santa looks like he's got kind of a pink eye over there. We don't want Santa to have pink eye. So I'm going to take that flesh color that we made earlier. Maybe I am. I don't see it anywhere. I hope I didn't drop it. Hold on. I can make up a little more. Oh, there it is. It's hiding. So this was using the pink that I had made mixed with white. And then I added that bright electrified green and created this peach face color. And I'm just gonna add a little bit to his eye here so he doesn't look like he has pink eye. And I don't want it to be overbearing because he needs his detail work in there, you know? So I'm just gonna use my hand to smudge it back a bit. And that's all, just a little bit. Some places where he's a little too pink, I want him to be a little more face color. There it is. Cute, very cute. And you can kind of see where you miss places. You can go back in and touch up. If I wanted more white in places, I just add a little more of the white where I think it should go, you know, instead of this pink. And again, I'm using a light touch so that I don't cover those black lines as much. This is supposed to be pink. I'm not really even sure what that's supposed to be. Probably some more of the white. I did this in a hurry because I was literally on for half an hour for this show. So it was not as easy to be as detailed work. And if you want to add some pink there for the lips, that would be fine too. You could even add, I'm adding peach, but you can even make them a little red or something if you wanted to, or a little bright pink. So if you wanted him to have a little more pink lips, you could do that. Okay, so that is the stamp coloring. Now we're gonna go back over this bow, and I'm thinking red. Why not? So I have, it's not part of the new colors, it's an existing color, but it's one of my favorite reds. It's a bright cardinal red, and it's great for Christmas. By the way, this paint and the ink is my favorite to use on stamps because you can easily wipe them and put them away. You do not have to wait. I mean, you do not have to worry about waiting. You can do it even after they dry. And same with the ink. If you wanted to brayer on the paint, the paint, you can do the same thing with the paint. Very handy. So we're gonna reuse this bow again. So I'm not gonna wipe him, but the Christmas cheer we're done with. We're not gonna make that Christmas cheer, I don't know, should we? We could do, maybe I'll leave it out just in case. We could color that in too. I was gonna leave it black, but I don't know. We'll have to see after we put everything on. Okay, let's color in our bow. Same thing, we're gonna cover the bow. We're not worrying about where the bow starts and ends and all that stuff. We're just covering it, because when we come back in with that stamp a second at a time, it's gonna give us those details back. And are we being perfect? No. Could we be? Sure. You can. You can be very careful and try to do the whole thing as careful as possible, but honestly, as long as you're covering that black the first time and giving it just that enough, giving it enough color, you're fine. Because once you put that top coat back on, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's more whimsical when it isn't. Okay, so all my blacks should be covered, and you can do whatever. You can add, like, if you want to be artistic and add a little bit of pink to the center. I'm going to use the same brush and just say, oh, I think I want a little bow in the center. You know, some lines down that. You know, do whatever you want to do, because this is the project to do it with. This is the, you know, have some fun project. This is very whimsical style. This is the time when you can pull out the glitter and the extra. Do the extra. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for a second. Let's start adding a few more of these detail elements that I pulled out. So I've got the little reindeer. Got some glitter going on here. I'm not really sure what it's from. I don't want to wet it, because these transfers do not like wet. They like slick, dry surfaces. I'm just going to kind of set these in here and see how I like them. It's just kind of covering the tree, giving it a little more height, because I didn't have enough height. You could add the molds, Christmas packages, and stack them up. You could add another stamp and layer it up. You could have done the Christmas tree as the Christmas tree mold. I have a beautiful big Christmas tree mold, that Oh Christmas Tree, that's still in stock here. You could have done that and painted it. There's lots of choices. These are not the only ones. So if you don't have these products and you can't get a hold of them, do not fear. There's lots of different choices. And if you want more ideas, go back into my Facebook. I do a live every Thursday at 4 on my Facebook Rhapsody Art Barn page, and I give you lots of alternatives. I'm always going live with different mixed media projects and upcycling. Some furniture. I haven't done furniture in a while, but I love furniture. That's what I started on. Okay, so we're just gonna overwhelm the whole page with images, because that's the style that we're going for. And it doesn't really even matter if they overlap, or if they're matching, or if they go together, or if they make sense in that area. I've seen, you know, snowman on top of Santa, Santa looking smaller than snowman. You know, I mean, this is whimsical. And you can always add elements, like these little balls, different places. I mean, you can always add more stuff. Stars, snowflakes, you know, there's always more stuff you could add. I think I'm gonna even add something that doesn't even make any sense. I'm just gonna have a little gingerbread man hanging off. I don't know where I'm gonna put him. I think I kind of like him over there. So he doesn't make any sense over there, but you know what? I like him. He's gonna go live there. Why not? There's no rules here with this design, this fun artwork. And boy, do these colors, these new colors, don't they really make this project fun? I haven't had to pull out too many of the original colors. A red, a white, which I use in almost all my projects as a shade changer or a base, and what else did I pull out? Oh, the bright yellow. Yeah, really didn't have to pull out too many other colors. You can also add different looks with the bright silvers, but those aren't the DIY. DIY has a gold that'd be really fun with this as well. And like I said, I think I'm gonna get some vintage tinsel to do around the edges of this. I think that'll be fun. Okay, so let's stamp over the bow. It's almost dry. Oh, I didn't do the balls. That's what I'm missing. I didn't do the balls. Let's do the balls. I'm trying to find my little paintbrush. I'm gonna do them the same. I'm gonna do the pink right over that red, right over that transfer. Don't worry about it. Not worried about it at all. I'm gonna do that blue and then the purple. I think I put the blue away. I'm just using all my little scraps here. Blue. I'm doing a big bright blue one this time because I'm off of that color enough. I think it'll be, kind of matches the blue that's already there anyway. And it does cover, got full coverage. And I'm gonna go back in with the purple, which I don't think I put on anything either. I mean, even just that touch of blue and that touch of purple is way too much. This is highly pigmented and it covers so well. The bows coming down. Add a little bit of purple. I'll probably do a whole nother project. That amount of purple. And we're gonna do the same thing where we're gonna stamp on top of it. This ink is sold in bottles and I can re-ink anytime I want. Hopefully it had enough ink, I think so. Okay, I need to dry those Christmas ornaments and then stamp this. So just line it up to wherever you had it before as best you can. Smash it down. Hold on to it the whole time and then lift it up. And how cute is that? Oh. Let's take this off. You don't need to see this. My mat. How cute is that? Kitschy, kitschy Christmas. We do have to do those wards up in the top corner, I think. I think they're not standing out enough. So Christmas cheer, I think maybe in pink. Let's do it. I've got the teeny tiny brush because I really don't want to screw up any of this beautiful. Oh, this brush is too fluffy. Too fluffy. It's little, but it's too fluffy. There we go. I have this little lighter one. So I do want to cover, but I don't want it to be way out of the lines on this one because they're letters, right? I want it to look like a C and an H and an R, you know. I want it to, I have to cover all the black still, but I don't have to make it look out of control. And these actually have space in between the letters so I can follow along. This is like stamping your own little coloring book here. So I'm gonna keep going till I'm done. You don't have to do all the little swirls, but you want to cover at least all the little black. Okay, Christmas cheer is now covered in pink and we need to cover it in black. I think I'm gonna put some, yeah, those are too big. Put some garland across the top and cut it out first. And I'll probably fix my garland down here that wasn't dry. All of this is from the Kitschy Christmas IOD Transfers 2024. They sold out quickly. Okay, so Unfortunately, I didn't do this before I did my bow, so I'm gonna have to play around with that. That's okay. I'll see what looks good and cover it with paint if I don't like it. I want to go up as high as I can go, so I think I'm actually gonna go this way and end it with this little garland piece hitting the bow. Okay. One of those times where you need to cut it almost exactly. So. I'm cutting off that little garland piece at the bow. Then I'll use this little one down here to try to fix what I didn't have correctly before. It's too wet. You cannot do it in a half an hour. I am learned. It's too wet. Oftentimes you'll see me use my fingernails with small pieces like this anyway. Seems easier than trying to get the sticks in. It's not wanting to stick to this one sometimes either, so. I didn't seal some of my boo-boos I fixed, so that's probably why. Okay, let's see if I can turn it around. You guys can watch it while I'm doing this anyway. You guys can see how cute it's looking. It is looking very cute. Cutie kitschy Christmas. No rule. Have fun. You could even do a border around the edge of this if you have a ton of them. Wouldn't that be fun to have a ton of them? We retailers run out and then we don't get them sometimes. I try to take one of each one so I can display. But I like my customers to have them, so I usually give them to them. But I usually save one, and we're doing a November raffle for last year's transfer. So if you want to be a part of that, you order, watch my lives, and we randomly pick people from the lives who comment, and we also everybody who orders each time, they get entered in. Okay, let's see, do we need any more of this anywhere? I got this little piece left. We may not, because I kind of like how it goes down there, and I think it'd be off balance to put it anywhere else. We could use it as its little tree trunk, but I don't think it needs it. I don't think it needs it. We could add another little guy in the center. I don't know, it's kind of fun. I don't know if we need that either. I think I kind of like it. Okay, now that it's done, we've got to top coat it. I'm gonna use the DIY, I guess I'll use the liquid patina. I thought maybe I had the big top over here, but I see it up on the shelf. So liquid patina it is. The only difference between the liquid patina and the big top is the shine. I want the shine. Maybe I'll use the Posh Chalk. It is a shinier. Top coat. Let's see, I'll probably need more than that. We'll try it. And it does tend to get a little, I'm using a Posh Chalk brush, maybe, if I can find one that's, maybe not. I'll use an Amy Howard brush. So basically this top coat could get a little stickier. I haven't had any problems with the transfers, so let's just hope that it's not too strong for them, but I don't think it is. But there have been top coats known to not do well with transfers. You know, the Dixie Belle one, Gator Hide, is not a friend of transfers. So, and I'm using a light touch because we just painted some of this stuff, but you do have to seal your paint and your transfers. This paint brand, you have to seal it. It will always wipe back with water unless it's sealed. It's just the nature of the paint. Almost perfect with this. And I'm using a very light touch so we don't blend or ruin any of our stamp stuff, because stamps like to, they like to run too. How adorable. I am loving this. So again, the new DIY paint colors. How adorable is this? I love it. It is very kitschy, but you know, I would put that on my wall. I think it's adorable. And again, I'm gonna try to find some tinsel to go around the edge. Something a little lighter than this, a little, maybe some silver, some bright fun. Yeah, just something fun to go around the edge. Not this heavy, something smaller. That's what I'll do, but you know, you do you. Just put on a little bit of stain, add a little bit of glitter, and have fun with it. And again, you can keep going from here. There's no, I mean, you could do velvet powder on things. I mean, you could do more silver in the background, little sparkle stars. You can add some diamond dust. Just have fun. Have fun. Okay, guys. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, rhapsodyartbarn.com. All of my products, Facebook Lives. You know the deal. Come see me. Thanks, guys.